Hey everybody, Tom Olson here, back again, and we are on day 11 of the 30 Days to Good Success. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this so far. Actually, I'm not sure I hope you are enjoying this. I just hope that you're getting help, and I really hope that you are taking this serious and you're taking this to heart and asking yourself the tough questions. And today's going to be no different. Today's going to be a tough question. And some of the questions may actually get harder from here, and I hope that you guys are ready for it. This is not going to be for the faint of heart. This book is not for the people that want to give up easy. This is not for the people that say, if it's not easy, I'm out of here. This is not. I am not here as your babysitter telling you it's okay. I am not here telling you that it's not your fault. I am not going to tell you that all you have to do is add a process and buy my new course to be able to solve all your. I'm not that person. I'm the person that is going to tell you, hey, it is your fault. I am the person that's here that I'm going to tell you, hey, you do need to get better. I need to get better. I'm not here telling you I'm perfect. I'm not here telling you I know it all. All I'm telling you is that I've learned through reading no less than 500 books on the subject, by leading many different teams and owning 7 different companies and having different people in my life and mentors in my life teach me. And I'm just trying to be a conduit of those teachings. This next question actually comes from 2 different books that are named the exact same name. And you think to yourself, how in the world? I've actually read 4 or 5 books that are named this exact same name. And to me, it's one of those, it's a name that just keeps ringing clear and clear and clear. And the name of those books is What Matters Most. One book was written by Karen Emin, and then the other book was written by Hiram Smith. Both of those books I highly recommend, and if you guys know me, I'm a reader. I try to read every single day. Some of the most successful people in the world will spend more time reading than they spend doing anything else. So think about that. I think reading is very, very, very vital, and it's important. And just because you're a reader doesn't necessarily mean you're a leader, but I will promise you all leaders are readers. If you're not making yourself better, why would anybody else want to make their self better to follow you? So think about that. So this next question, question number 11, question number 11. Drum roll, please. Like I know. Drum roll. Question number 11. I know you guys are all waiting. Wait, you guys have the book. You don't need me to tell you what the question is. But what is your biggest challenge or opportunity? And you might say to yourself, hey, didn't you just ask this question in question number 10? But I think this is such an important question, and it's such an important part of this book that I wanted to ask it again and go just a little bit deeper today. I believe that the most important part of any plan is what you want, and knowing what it is that you want is so important that I think it bears repeating. So maybe you thought your issue was a process. Maybe you thought your issue was you didn't have enough money, you didn't have enough lenders, you don't have enough something. That's normally what people from question 10 are going to say. They don't have enough of something. They're not good enough, or something to that effect. But a lot of times what I have found in business, in life, is that a lot of times our biggest opportunity is also our biggest issue. And sometimes opportunity can be our issue. In entrepreneur land and out in masterminds and out in different things, we call this the shiny object syndrome. So I'm going to ask you, do you have shiny object syndrome? I know I have at times, and I'm always wanting to add a new company or add something that I do, and I think it's synergistic, and I want to be able to add value to the other companies and also add value to my network that I have. But I've got to be very careful and honed in and making sure that it is going to help me reach my purpose, that it's going to help me, in the reason why I'm living. And I have to also be submitted to God and saying, hey, this is not my will, but thine be done. I have to be humble about it and not just to think and expect everything so fast. Most of the things in life we don't get immediately. Most of the good things in life, the right things, we don't just get immediately. We have to wait. We have to be patient and continue to work hard towards those goals. And so question number 11, what is your biggest issue? Now this one, we actually have 3 parts to the actual thing that you can write down on page number 72 that talks about this. But so break down that. What is your actual biggest challenge and your opportunity? Are they related to each other? Is it possible that you are doing too much? Is it possible you're not saying no enough? And what I found is especially when the economy is going well, which economy seems to go well longer than it goes bad. So normally we have a 7, 10, 15 year strong economy, and then we have a 2, 3 year dive, and more fortunes get lost in that 3 years than get gained during the 10, 15 years. So we have to be very mindful and very careful about the bad times. And I can tell how good you are as an entrepreneur by how you act in the good times, not necessarily how you act in the bad times, because how you act in the good times will prepare you for the bad times. So you might be thinking to yourself, I'm doing just fine, I don't really need this right now. But at some point in time, you will need to know, you'll need to know how to go about solving these big issues. I've had many different students and many different people that have come through my mastermind and come through different groups of mine. And, one in particular, I can remember, it was a partner, and both of those partners, the biggest issue was that their vision was not aligned. So maybe it's a person, and I'm going to ask that question during this question, because a lot of times I think people are our biggest leverage, but they can also be our biggest issue. And I think a lot of it has to do with they don't have the same vision. They don't want the same things. And you've got to be willing to notate those people. You have to be willing to say, hey, this is the issue. I've got these people that are not doing what we have agreed as a company to do. We have these people that are wanting to go their own way. And I've seen these issues be rectified, but people have to be on the same page of where they're going. And if they can't get on the same page where they're going, then they're never going to get on the same page of how to get there. So that's the first step, is being on the same page with your people on where you're going. And then the second step is being on the same page with people on how to get there. And that can take humility. That can take, hey, okay, well, that's not what I would have thought, but maybe if you think we can try that. Let's just try it and see if it'll get us there. And sometimes it might work, and sometimes I'm going to promise you it doesn't. But sometimes your idea may not work, and sometimes your idea might work. So you can turn to page 72 in your workbook, and I need you to answer these questions honestly. So what is your biggest challenge? What really is it? What's keeping you up at night? Maybe I should reframe that question and rephrase it and say, what is actually keeping you up at night? What do you wake up in the middle of the night and sweats about? What is your biggest opportunity? So, and then are those two related? And I think that's a key question in that sequence is, are those two related? Ask yourself, how can I turn around this obstacle or this opportunity? Is it even possible? And I know with God, all things are possible. So, the answer is probably yes for most things, but is God really in this? I think, is this part of his plan and his purpose for us to, and then having that hard conversation. Is your biggest challenge a person? If it is, write it down. And then start with yourself. So just like I said, you have to take responsibility in question 10. I'm going to say it again. Take responsibility. What about yourself do you wish that you could change? So if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? This is a hard exercise. This is something that we even do sometimes when I believe that teams are so in sync with each other that they can actually handle this type of a conversation. At a yearly event, I will actually have them say, hey, what do you think is the most important thing of your other team members? And, so go around the room and say, everybody, I'm going to say, everybody, Tom, what is the most important thing that Tom brings to the team? What's the most important thing Keith brings to the team, and Jared brings to the team, and Susie or whoever is on your team brings to that team? And then you want to go around the room and say, hey, if I could change one thing about you, and I believe that, I'm not here just trying to hurt you, but I believe that this would help the team, not just help me, but if there's one thing that I would ask you to do that would help that be better at. Maybe it's a skill they need to learn. Maybe it's something that just annoys people. Maybe it's something that people want to be able to, help the team with. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be so many different things. I don't even want to get into it. But what's that one thing that you would change about that person? And sometimes those meetings end with tears. Sometimes those meetings end with thank yous for pointing that out to me, because I couldn't see that. But I think it's the most important part of that is for you admitting the parts that you can do better on. So think about that question. What are the things about myself that I would change? And then what are the things about this other person that I would change? And then I would encourage you, before you have a meeting, I would get some counsel on it. Ask other people, hey, is this really an issue? Is there something in me that I need to change about myself before I go into this meeting and before I talk to this person? What else is there about me that I need to change? Because I know I'm part of this. I'm part of this problem, and then be willing to have that conversation. So, have the honest discussion. That's kind of the end of page 72. But before you do that, like I said, ask a trusted mentor or ask a group of people, what it is that they can see about you. I was so proud of one of my mastermind members at this very last mastermind, and they said, hey, you guys have known us for several years. Our mastermind group has people that kind of continue with the group over and over again for years and years and years. And they've been one of those faithful people that have been very supportive of Good Success and been very helpful for us and very encouraging to me personally, honestly. But he got up in the middle and he said, hey, these are the issues that we think we have, but you guys have known us. You guys have seen us for years. What is it about us that you see that you think that we need to change in our business? And it was light bulb moment city. We were 3 or 4 things that were mentioned to them, and they didn't even, again, it was something they never even thought of, and then never even maybe ever would have thought of if they didn't ask the question. So good leaders ask good questions. I hope these questions have been good questions to you, to give you thought-provoking time spent going through these questions and answering them, being honest with yourself, but at the end of the day, growing. Every opportunity, every challenge is an opportunity to grow. And I hope that this workbook is helping you grow. It's helped me. I've gone through every one of these questions myself personally, and this is why I'm giving them to you, because I know that these are not easy, and I'm proud of you guys for going through them. So I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow for question number 12 of the 30 Days to Good Success journey, and I will see you back here tomorrow.